Have you ever passed by an old cemetery and felt like something was wrong? Not because of the weather, not because of the chill in the air, but because it looked different than last time, like the stones had moved. The path was shorter, or a grave you don't remember seeing before suddenly remembered you. This is the story of a cemetery that doesn't stay where it's supposed to. A cemetery that rearranges itself when no one is watching. A cemetery that remembers your name before you were ever born. So turn off the lights, put your headphones in, and whatever you do, don't look away from the screen. Because if this cemetery finds you, you might never find your way back. Jason McCleary wasn't a believer. He ran a paranormal debunking channel on YouTube called The Skeptic Lens. Urban legends, haunted houses, ghost tours. He'd visited them all and proved 90% of it was fake. He didn't believe in spirits. He believed in shadows, tricks of the mind, poorly done practical effects. He believed people wanted to be scared. So when someone on an old forgotten Reddit thread posted about a place called Pine Hollow Cemetery in a town that didn't exist anymore, Jason felt that old thrill of curiosity again. The post was simple. Don't go to Pine Hollow alone, it moves. And if it likes you, it keeps you. It was signed. Dug too soon. Jason clicked on the user's profile. Gone, deleted, no history. That's what made it perfect. He drove to central Pennsylvania in early September. Windows down, gear packed, voice recorder running. He filmed everything for his audience. The empty highways, the rusted signs, the way the signal dropped the closer he got. He didn't find Hartsville on the GPS. It wasn't on Google Maps. But with some old forums and a 1980s paper atlas he bought on eBay, he managed to find what used to be the town, or what was left of it. Hartsville was dead. The road cracked like old bones. The houses sagged under years of silence. Windows blacked out by ivy, doors swallowed by weeds. There was no electricity, no street lights, no signs of life, except one thing. At the far end of a crooked road, between the tree line and an overgrown cornfield, stood a rusted iron gate. Behind it, a field of leaning gravestones. Pine Hollow Cemetery, asked 1962. Jason grinned. This is gonna be good. He stepped through the gate, camera in hand, already narrating. All right, folks, this is Pine Hollow Cemetery. Rumor says it moves at night, and if you stay long enough, it remembers you. So, let's see what happens. The place was strangely quiet. No birds, no insects, no wind. Just the occasional rustle from the woods like something pacing along the edge. The graves were old, many unreadable, some cracked in half, others half swallowed by earth. He counted about 50, maybe more. But as he turned back toward the gate, he froze. He counted again. 75. He swore it had been 50 a minute ago. Jason blinked hard and rubbed his eyes. Maybe he miscounted. Then he saw it. A headstone, right in the middle of the path, with his name on it. Jason McCleary. Downstairs. He walked where he shouldn't. He staggered back. Nope, no way. This is a prank. He looked around. No one. The air suddenly smelled sour, like earth turned too long. When he looked back, the gravestone was gone. Jason shook it off, explained it away. Maybe he was tired. Maybe adrenaline was playing tricks. He went back to his van, parked just outside the gates, set up 2 cameras, one facing the center of the cemetery, the other pointed toward the gate. He crawled into the back to rest. That's when he noticed the clock, 11:58 p.m., and then the van shook, not gently, like something large had shoved it. Jason bolted upright, grabbed his flashlight. The world outside was dead silent. No wind, no movement, just heavy fog rolling across the cemetery. He opened the door, stepped out, and immediately realized something was wrong. The graves weren't in the same place. Rows that had been neat earlier were now chaotic, stones tilted. Some had moved. One was completely upside down. The tree he'd been filming was gone. And in the middle of it all, an open grave, fresh, the soil still moisture. Jason stepped closer, heart hammering. Inside the grave, glowing in the light of his flashlight, was his phone. Recording. A voice played back, whispering, "Lie down. You're already here." Jason dropped the phone and ran. He tore through the woods. Branches slashed his arms. Roots caught his feet. But he didn't care. He had to get away. The woods felt endless, a maze. Every path looked the same. But then he saw something. Another clearing, another cemetery. He gasped, thinking he'd made it out. But no, it was Pine Hollow. Again, same gate, same stone path. But now, there were more graves. More than before. And some of them had photos. Photos of him, smiling, laughing, dead. He tried to leave again. Walked in a straight line. For hours. Every turn brought him back to Pine Hollow. Time stopped making sense. He checked his watch, 4:33 a.m. Then 2:01. Then 9:44. But it was always dark. The cemetery was bending time. He saw people too. Figures in the fog. Faces that looked like his. Others, strangers, they whispered, moved without sound, walked in reverse. He screamed, he begged. But the trees swallowed his voice. On the third day, or what he thought was the third, he saw a figure by the fence. An old man holding a lantern. He didn't speak at first, just stared. Jason called out. The man replied, "You walked in. You remembered. That's your curse." Jason asked what he meant. The man, known only as the Keeper, said the cemetery fed on memory. It shifted to trap the curious. It rearranged itself until you couldn't leave. "You can lie down," the Keeper said, "and forget, or stay awake, and remember everything, forever." Jason asked, "What happens if I fight it?" The Keeper smiled. "Then you become part of it." Jason kept running, until he forgot why. Until he no longer knew who he was. He woke up one morning in a hospital found by hikers. He had no ID, no voice, just dirt in his fingernails. When they asked his name, he didn't answer. He didn't remember anything, not even the cemetery. A week later, his YouTube channel uploaded a video, one he never made. It was 4 minutes of silent, grainy footage. Him standing in the cemetery, smiling. And beside him, a young woman named Daniela Ruiz. She was never found. But in the video, they looked in love. At the very end, a gravestone flashed on screen. Jason and Daniela McCleary, 2025. Love doesn't die. It resets. Then, static. Somewhere in the Pennsylvania woods, Pine Hollow still stands. Sometimes small, sometimes endless, sometimes with 40 graves, sometimes with hundreds. And if you ever find yourself near it, don't look too long. Don't walk inside, and never read the stones out loud. Because if the cemetery learns your name, it'll find a place for you, even if you were never born. They say time buries the past, but at Pine Hollow, the past buries you. So if your dreams ever lead you to a place with crooked stones, black trees, and your name on a grave, don't run, don't scream. It's already too late.